Hello and welcome to Master Swan Open number 88. 88? 81? Or is it going so well? But yeah, welcome to our monthly tournament for the Masters players up to 4.7k MMR. And we are in the first of our series. And we are on Alcione? Yes, that map. Anyway, we are looking at the first of our players in the top right corner. I believe this is a new player, I have to double check that, but at least has not played very recently. But it is our green Terran, it's Milo. And across the map we have our orange Zerg player. It is representing GDA team, Dave Litos. Dave Litos? Look, accents. Make sure it's correct. Yeah, welcome. As a reminder, this is a monthly tournament for our amateur players. Everybody can sign up as long as they have the required number of games and they have not exceeded 4.7 MMR in current and past 3 seasons. And yeah, I mean, this is a decently big map, so I don't think we will be seeing any sort of cheeses here. Not this time. So we're just gonna see a regular game. We have Dave Litos with his hatchery already on the way. The pool as well, but it was a hatch first, I believe. Meanwhile, Milo, just, you know, Reaper expand. Very calm beginning of games, of the beginning of the game, and we'll see where they will go from there. Now, does Dave Litos pull out of gas? Does not look like it, but he's also not starting speed quite yet. Oh my bad, I was looking at the wrong player. Wow, I'm doing so well today. Don't worry about it. Everything is perfectly fine. I think green and orange is not ideal color scheme, especially with the green pool and everything. Like, Zerg has a lot of green things happening. Anyway, the Reaper is now in and it is met by the Queen. The Zerglings were not in position, but the Queen is able to deny any damage and the Reaper goes down. Obviously it does get a nice scout, but it only scouts the main base, which doesn't have anything unusual. Didn't even see the third that's already on the way, so definitely not ideal Reaper from Milo, but at least he confirmed that there is nothing fishy going on. Meanwhile, he is going for a bit of a 1-1-1 with Hellions on the front, getting ready his third CC as well. Oh, now he's scouting with an SCV. Gonna be following these Zerglings over here. Interesting moves, but the one Zergling is unrelenting. We'll keep chasing the SCV. I assume that the SCV is sent to check for the third base potentially, but no, I'm going straight to the natural and it actually dies before it sees anything. Meanwhile, we have Baneling Nest on the way, so David was preparing for whatever to come. He does have this Overlord over here on the front. I'm not sure if this is a pillar. I assume it must be. But yeah, Davidos has also not actually scouted anything on Milo's side of the map, so both our players don't have a lot of information to work with. The Hellions are moving in, but there are queens and there is a wall even as well, so the natural is safe. The creep will be cleaned, but with 2 queens on the front already, like, they will be able to respread it quite quickly. The third base is not protected as well, but there are no drones on it yet, so in the end no serious damage done. Milo now scans the base of Davidos and he does see that the lair is on the way. He also sees the Baneling Nest. But what is his own plan? He's still making some Hellions. He's working on Steam. We're adding more barracks. So we will be going for a proper bio army. But yeah, I guess a lot of it will come down to control because the bailing nest is done. There is no bailing speed yet though, obviously. As the Hellions actually did manage to try 7 drones this time. But all of them will be going down, so it is a bit of a trade-off. Oh yeah, the Liberator manages to sneak in. It's not even in the dev space, but the Queens were not quite able to reach it, and 5 more drones are going down. Some very nice damage for Milo finally. At the same time, there is an Overseer on his side of the map, and you know, just keeping an eye on what is coming out of production, and what is coming is more Marines. We are going for a full bio army. The factory doesn't even have an add-on, it's not producing anything. Looks like we're just going pure Marine for now. Oh, that Overseer has to run. And it looks like it will be able to escape, and we're just making more barracks. Look, man with gun is pretty good, but it looks like we're just going full on man with gun. Bending speed is on the way. It will be a while before it will be finished though. And it looks like Milo is about ready to move out with his Marines. I mean, this is not a big force. Combat shield is still underway. It will be done soon. But I guess a lot of this fight will matter on it will depend on positioning and kiting. David just confirms that the Marines are on the move. Phoenix are being more speed is still not finished. This hatchery is under attack and it will be killed, not cancelled. Levitos has to run in right now, but the Phoenix still didn't have speed and they got sniped. All the Zerglings are down as well. The Queens are falling and the Marines are still standing strong. Now there's no defense. The Zerglings are being made, but they are not here yet. Drones are being pulled off the line, but they all die to the Marine fire. "20 drones down. Levitos is trying to morph in some banelings, but he's not able to. The Zerglings will now try to defend, but it's not enough, and GG is called. Milo is taking game number 1 with purely Marine army. And a few medivacs, to be fair. Yeah, very interesting game. Like, I did not quite expect the game to go this way. I didn't expect just Ilo to just, you know, he was playing like a very regular game, you know, just repair, expand, just nothing happening here, and then he just pressed the Marine button and he never stopped. Man with gun once again. But we are now getting ready for game number 2. Game number 2 will be on Crimson card. And on a Crimson card, spawning in the top right side of the map, we have our Terran player representing himself as far as we know. It is Milo. And on the other side of the map we have representing GDA team, and I believe, if I remember well, from Sweden. It is our Zerg player, Dave Litos. Okay, we are not cheesing. There's no aggression after this last game. Just playing this regular. Once again, Davitos trying to take that hatchery early. Very confident play there from Morzer. Meanwhile, Milo just, you know, getting his barracks ready. And I assume it will once again be a Reaper expand. Let me quickly set something. There you go. So yeah, I assume we will see a very similar beginning of the game to the last one. But we'll see what the difference will be. I wonder if Milo will once again try this Mass Marine style, but it feels like one of these things like you only do once, right? But at the same time, Man with Gun, it's pretty good. So maybe that's just the strat. Then we have Milo SCV scouting for that third base. So, or the improvement on that part. Reaper is now in, sees the natural base, and will try to get him from the main, I assume, but actually gets distracted by the Zerglings. And takes down 2 of the Zerglings, which is really nice in this early game. The drone has also been turned into a spore, I believe. So the third base is not coming down like anytime soon. Reaper is really low, but takes down the last of the Zerglings and survives. So very nicely done. I believe it was 3 or 4 Zerglings that went down. The LCV is finally cleaned up, but the Reaper is still looming about. And the Queen will join as well, and I assume eventually the Reaper will be chased off, but it's taking a while and Davidos is still not taking the third base. He actually decides to send the links across the map. What is waiting across the map? We have a natural base. Hellions are on the way. Third base is being worked on. The CC is in the main base. Speed is about to be done, so that will definitely be helpful. Taking down the mule immediately. The Hellions don't even notice the first for a moment, but they are there to help. But yeah, they will take a bit of damage, but at least they will prevent more damage to the SCVs. But there's more units coming. Yeah, the third is only now being taken by Davidos. That's quite a delay for the Zerg. At the same time, he's already working on the lair and taking out the Baneling nest. Meanwhile, more racks are coming, so Milo once again will be going bio, but for now he has the Liberator, and if you remember last game, the Liberator did a lot of damage. The Hellions were there on the front to distract, and in the meantime, Liberator took like 10 workers, maybe more. So we will see if once again Milo is able to find a nice position with that one. I mean, the natural is pretty much undefended. There is one queen there, but just a queen, and there's a lot of space. Well, maybe not an ideal spot to park. It's very, very out there, but he does cause Davidos to lose some mining time, as all of the drones have to be pulled. At the same time, Hellions are cleaning creep at the third base. No serious damage, but still very annoying for the vision of Davidos. Ooh, and even catching the Banelings, and while all the Hellions are gone, I don't think the purpose of the Banelings was dealing with these, so a bit of a waste. Liberator tries to come back, but there is now a Spore and 3 Queens, so now it will be much harder to get any damage done. And once again, we're just going for Marines. Just upgrades, Marines. That's it. We did some Hellions, like the factory was there to make those 4 Hellions, and after that it's just pure Marine. You know, we get the Medivacs just to heal them, and that's it. We still have 2 more Hellions, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like the way to go for Milo is just this pure Marine army. The difference now is that Davidas does have the Banelings prepared and speed is about to finish. So there is a solid chance that he will be able to have speed Banelings before Milo even reaches the other side of the map. And Davidas is working on a Hydra then. It's an interesting choice. I mean, Hydras do have good DPS, but actually I don't know how they do versus Marines specifically. But I would say the army of Davidos does not look big. I mean, he has a lot of Zerglings, so there is a good chance, but we'll see. The Liberator sieges in the third base at the same time the Marines are dropping in the natural. One of them actually left behind the minerals. Bangs are having a bit of an issue pathing to them, but eventually they do take down a few. I believe the Liberator went down. Yeah, the Liberator was taken down by the Queens. Poor Overlord runs straight into the Marines, unfortunately. And actually Milo decides to move back. He will continue harassing with this small force, I guess. Yeah, he's can't really find an opening right now. And yeah, I mean, I thought that maybe Davidos is planning to go for Lurkers, but it looks like he's actually focusing on Hydras, like purely Hydras for now. He's getting upgrades for them, and it looks like it will be a Linkbane Hydra army. Versus mostly Marine army. We do have a few Widow Mines this time, so the army composition has been upgraded, but it's still mostly Marines. The time is now, the Marines are moving forward, they are clearing creep, there are only Queens here, but the Zerglings are quick to move. The Zerglings go from the back and the Banelings roll straight into the army and the entire Marine army goes down. I don't think a single Marine survived. No, sorry, there is literally two Marines survived that attack, and most of them were taken down by the Banelings. The Widow Mines are a big danger and they will focus on the Hydras, but they're not able to take down a lot of them. The Marine reinforcements are here though, and Davidos has to be careful about how he plays this. The Queens on the front lines are going down, but the Hydras are here, and with their DPS they're definitely helpful dealing with the Marines. The Zerglings will tank for the Widow Mines as well, so yeah, this went really well for Davidos. So again, Man with Gun is pretty good, but not just on their own. Nice roll. Yeah, Milo just opening some paths, trying to circle around the Zerg. The mineral wall is still here, but that's not really an obstacle for the Terran with the Medivacs. Although it does take a while to ferry all these units across, so not ideal. And there is the lurker then that I was mentioning. Devlitos is taking into lurkers after all, and that will definitely be very helpful against the Marines. As long as you can position them correctly, of course. And once again, the Bane is rolling in and they take down a good chunk of the Marines. Not all of them though this time. The Widow Mines are mostly still recharging and they focus on the Zerglings. The Hydras are moving in. The Zergling reinforcement from the back. The single tank there goes down. And Devlitos is chasing. The army of Milo is suddenly not all that big. We only have the Marines right now. A Liberator just popped, but this is basically what you see is what you get. And GG's called. Devlitos will be taking game number 2. And we are now tied 1-1 in our series. This is the first series of our tournament and we're already having a tied series. Very nice. Yeah, I see Droptimus in the chat being like, yeah, Hydras aren't great against Marines. Well, apparently they're good enough if they have enough support from the Zerglings to tank for the Widow Mine shots and all of that, so... in the end, it did work pretty great for Devlitos. Also, we're not gonna talk about the fact about how he's called Devlitos and he plays Zerg. It's okay. Oh, we have some Terran OP. But anyway, it is time for game number 3, which will decide this series, the first series of our tournament. And the series will be decided on Oceanborn. So I have to fix this. 1 second. Why does this keep happening? But anyway, let me quickly fix up the scores. We are now on Oceanborn in our game number 3 and we are looking at the green Terran player. It is Milo. And across the map we have our orange Zerg from Sweden, representing GDA team. It is Devlitos. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, both of our players start the game like very calmly. You know, they're taking their bases. Nothing, no like special aggression, no proxying, no cheesing. But then once they start attacking, they just keep going. They just don't stop. And I feel like that applies to both of them. Like once they find that momentum going, they just keep going. So, once again, we're starting with the Reaper expand, I believe, on the side of Milo. Yeah, there goes the Reaper. At the same time, on the side of Devlitos, we have a hatchery first. Yeah, we just have to see where it goes this time. I mean, we've seen that Milo definitely favors Marines, and a lot of them. He did not go full mass marine like he did in the first game. Like the second game definitely had a bit more variety to it. But still definitely favors the heavy marine composition. Meanwhile, Devlitos did go for that Lingbane Hydra, which is... I feel like it's a strategy that keeps coming and going, you know? We'll see what he comes up with this time. Reaper once again bothering all these Zerglings. The drone had to hide under a spore. 2 Zerglings already down. Milo is doing pretty well with the Reaper micro. But the Queen is here, so he cannot escape now. At least not this way. David just picks a very interesting base on the front. I guess it is away from the Reaper. The Reaper was slowed down by the Queen and the third base was being able to be taken. That was a very weird grammar construction. Now with 2 queens, the Reaper can't really get into the bases and there's not much to see, but there is a Baneling nest already on the way, there is speed as well. Meanwhile, on the side of Milo, we have our third CC coming up. We're still working on those Hellions, so looks like our game plan looks very similar to the previous games, starting with the Hellions and then transitioning into Marines. But this time we're getting a Viking, so I guess we will be cleaning a lot of Overlords this game. The Reaper finally goes down to the Queens and the Hellions are also just attacking straight up. I don't know if this is intentional because they will be just going down. They did bait out a Transfuse, so that is less energy on the Queens, but I don't know if that was worth it. The rest of the Hellions are still hiding in the bushes. Once again, the factory is being, you know, retired, just taken to their retirement place. And I don't think it will be used for a while. Meanwhile, David was getting his upgrades ready. He still does not have a lair, so there will not be Baneling speed this time. Like, we have 3 hatcheries, we have 3 bases, but there is no lair even coming. So no Baneling speed this time. Meanwhile, the Liberator is moving out, the Viking is looking for Overlords, but there's not a lot of them on the map. There's basically this one, maybe something at the bases. The Liberator starts with the third base. There's only 1, 2 drones there, and some of them transferring as well, but not much to be hunted. And it takes quite a lot of damage from this Queen, it just barely escapes. Meanwhile, David was actually using Zerglings to block the third base of Milo on both sides. The Hellion deals with one side, but the other is still there. And only now Davlitos is getting that lair, which means the Baneling speed will be quite late. I mean, Milo should be about ready to attack if that was what he was planning. He does have quite a few Marines, but actually not as many as last time, I believe. There's much more Hellions, like he saved a lot of his Hellions and once again he's going for much more mixed army. He has the Widow Mines ready, he has the Hellions and only like maybe half of the army is Marines. Meanwhile, on the side of Davlitos we have some Zerglings, some Banelings, no Baneling speed, as Larry is still not even finished. And we will have to defend this with mostly Zerglings, I guess, and Queens. The Queens are dealing with the Hellions, but the Marines are still strong. The Widow ones are taking down some of the Zerglings, not all of them though. And one full medivac of Marines goes down. There's still some reinforcements here, but actually Milo has to go back. Davlitos has help. And now the Zerglings are running straight into the natural base, taking out all of these SCVs soon. But the Marines are here just in time, and it looks like a lot of the SCVs were damaged, but not a lot of them were killed. At the same time though, in the third base, entire mineral line goes down. Problem is, a lot of this army was lost in these attacks. I mean, sure, he took down a lot of SCVs, which is great. But there is a counter-attack from Milo coming down. Another wave of Marines, another wave of Widow Mines. There are only Queens on the front lines. The Zerglings are on the way, but they're not here yet. Looks like the Queens all keep falling down. The Banelings are right after more are being sniped as well, and this third base is now in huge danger. Looks like Davidos decides not to defend it. He has the third base and the fourth on the way as well on the north of the map. And he's just buying time. He has a bit of a Linkbane army, but not a lot of it. Once again, we have purely Marine army moving forward. I don't think we can quite call it a drop. Now we have the Widow Mines as well, and they will definitely help against Linkbane if they can get good shots. Milo is trying to bait the Zerglings in, but only a few of them do, and they go straight into the Marines as well. A lot of the Marines are damaged and the Banelings are rolling in, but not all of them find good connections. Another base falls down. Milo is moving forward. We only have Hydras here on the front lines. The Zerglings are popping up, but they're still amassing. The Marines are very hurt though. The Medivacs are not keeping up with the healing. And ooh, some nice bending shots, and the entire Marine army goes down. And with that, once again, Milo is forced to go back home. He has the Marine army reinforcements rebuilding quickly, as you know, he's focusing on the Marine army very heavily. He has a lot of barracks. How many barracks do we have right now? We're at 8 barracks producing Marines. Some of them have reactors, not all of them. So that is a lot of Marines being produced at the same time. But is it enough? Because Davidos is now once again counter-attacking, and this base will not be taken. The Hydras went a bit out of the way, but Zerglings alone cannot fight this army. Yeah, Man-Whip Gun is pretty strong, and Zerglings alone will not cut it. The Hydras are also not quite enough. There's a bit of a run-by being prepared on the bottom here. Once again, this base just barely finished and it will be taken down by the Marines. The drone is trying to hide at least. And looks like it will be successful. Look at it go. But the Marines are marching forward, and I don't know if there's a lot of army prepared. There are Hydras, the Banelings are still being produced and they will not be able to finish, and the Zerglings alone will not be able to help. The Hydras are trying to do their best, but the Marine army is overwhelming. The Zerglings run into the Marine fire and most of them go down. Some of them try to morph into Banelings, but once again they will not be able to finish. GG is called, and Milo will be taking this series 2-1. Plating the score, and yeah, GG, very nicely done there by Milo. Now he will be moving on to the semi-finals of our tournament today. And You know, shout out to Dave Litos because he did play pretty well. He did take one game as well, and he was holding most of the attacks, but in the end, like, this snowball was just too hard. Like, the Marines just kept coming and they never stopped coming. Well, we can now take a look at our bracket. On the other side of the bracket, we have Subse 1-0 Droptimus. Not quite sure what happened there. We'll have to double check on that. Abatur is still playing Kamikaze. Or Kamikaze. Depends who's reading. We just had our series of Milo versus Devlitos, and the opponent for Milo will be Kuro, who just beat Random User or Werehog 2-0. So looks like we have our semifinals set for us then. It will be Cure Waffles versus Milo. Cure Waffles is a player who went pretty far in our recent tournament. I have to double check. I think he took second place. I don't think he won. But I will have to check that. Okay, as I just got confirmation, and Milo is from Canada. So, yeah, there you go. For the people asking in the chat, Dave Litters is from Sweden and Milo from Canada. And now in our current series, we have Milo and Cure Waffles. Cure Waffles is from Poland. Okay, we're just getting our series ready, and soon we will be jumping into game number 1 of the semi-finals of Master Swan Open number 81. As a reminder, this is a monthly tournament for Masters players who have not exceeded 4.7k MMR. We have 2 amateur tournaments on our channel. One of them is Ducklings Open, which is for diamond players, and the other one is this one, Master Swan Open. Both of them are monthly, so if you want to try to participate in a tournament, then feel free to sign up. But meanwhile, we are now loaded into the first of our games in the semi-finals, and we are on side Delta, as in the top left corner we have our Canadian Terran player. It is Milo. And across the map we have our red Terran player. We have activity on our hands representing Team Scarlet with a single T, not 2 T's. It is from Poland, Cure Waffles. Does anyone know what that symbol is? Should I know? But we see something very different now. You know, remember how I said that Milo is, you know, just macroing up like nothing too fishy? Not in TVT. No. We are going straight up for 2 racks. Even a further CV coming as well, so it looks like even 3 racks. It's very possible that it is map dependent, but nonetheless, very different playstyle from our green player. As I realized that green versus red is probably not ideal color. I will try to change that for the next one. Blizzard, if you're listening, that would be cool if like the lobby host could change colors of people. Of players, I mean. That would be nice. Just saying. And the SCVs are setting up the bunkers. Kuro has only just seen it. He has not scouted anything before this. And what will be his response? I mean, he is making 2 Reapers, he's pulling SCVs. Oh, will he actually try to attack the bunker? There are a lot of Marines here already though. I don't know if he can do it. He's focusing that Marine. Yeah, the bunker will finish. And the SCVs are going down. 6 SCVs are down already. The 2 Reapers are about to pop out. They will be on the other side of the wall, so they will be decently safe. But the wall is broken and Milo is now in the base, in the main base of Pure Waffles. The Hellion is on the way, but it's not even halfway through. The Reapers are trying to kite the Marines and they are starting to deal with them. They already dealt with the SCVs. Yeah, but this is very intense. The reactor is going down, the barracks is under fire as well. The Cyclone pops out and it will help dealing with these Marines. SCVs are being pulled off the line. It looks like, I don't know, it's very close. It looks like there's more Marines left over and it's just this single Cyclone. The SCVs are trying to repair it as best as they can. There are only a few Marines left, but those same SCVs are being focused. And what are we left with? We're left with 5 workers. And there's still more Marines. We do have 2 Cyclones, which is definitely nice. But our, the economy of Pure Waffles is not looking great. The bunker is finally taken down, which is nice, but those Cyclones are so low. They're basically held by duct tape. Like, Pure Waffles will try to fix them, but he barely has any resources left. And you know, repair does cost resources. So my accents over the place in that sentence. But the Cyclones nonetheless will be repaired, as they still have to face more Marines, and Milo is not stopping this. He's still continuing the Marine production. He still has more workers on his side of the map and they're not in any kind of danger. And now with the focus fire, the first Cyclone falls down, the second one is getting low. The kiting from Pure Waffles is really nice. But 2 Cyclones go down, it's just this one Cyclone. And it's very, very damaged. And all of the Cyclones goes down. That was the last of the fighting units from Pure Waffles. It's just the SCVs now. And GG is called. Milo will be taking game number 1 in a very aggressive fashion. Yeah, again, very... Oh, I think I clicked on the wrong lobby. Yeah, we made the wrong map. It's okay. It's all good. But yeah, that was very, very aggressive. Like, not just aggressive, it was very committed from Milo. Like, once he saw that he was able to get some damage going, like, he just kept queuing the Marines. Those barracks were constantly operating, constantly producing more. And he was able to overpower Kuro Waffles, despite Kuro Waffles doing pretty like well with what he had. Kuro was fighting for his life there. He was kiting those cyclones and he took down a lot of units of Milo. But in the end, it was just not enough. Like, the economy, I feel like really the economy was just... Like, basically, like, he ran out of money for repairs, and like, because he had so few workers, like, it was really hard to choose between making units and repairing the few cyclones that he had. And now we will be getting ready for game number 2. As I almost was playing versus... hold on. Well, we're not getting the colors, they already started, and unfortunately I am not the host of this lobby. So we will have red versus green once again. I am very sorry. Actually, I could probably change that. Hold on. Can I? I have to check this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, StarCraft. Let me see if it works. I know we're supposed to do intros, but I don't know what the hotkey is. Colors. Colorblind mode? No, it doesn't work. I was so hopeful, but no, apparently it doesn't work when you're just an observer. So anyway, we are on Ghost River. And in the top right corner of Ghost River we have our green Terran player. Very aggressive in the first game. It is from Canada, Milo. And on the other side of the map we have our red Terran player from Poland, representing team or clan Scarlet with a single T. It is Kuro. This time, Kuro is making sure that nothing fishy is going on, that SCV is scouting diligently. And Milo is not being very cheeky. He just has his barracks at home, the single SCV is just there for scouting. But you know, like still like the mental advantage, right? Like, you just... Oh, I missed a word. Like you put the fear in your enemy, in your opponent. And they're just afraid, they just keep scouting, just making sure that nothing weird is coming down. But there isn't. It's just a regular game. Fairly mirrored as well, both of our players. Going for the Reapers into factories. In fact, even the timing of those buildings and units are very, very close. The Reapers meet in the middle of the map, and it looks like Kuro got a bit better of a trade-off in terms of HP points. The Green Reaper will have to hide behind his brethren. And yeah, looks like we will have fairly regular game. Milo going for the starport a little bit earlier than Kuro does, but the differences are really not all that big. The big difference though is that Milo decides to put his CC straight up on the location in natural base. Meanwhile, Kuro is more careful. He keeps his base, he keeps his command center in the main base. I guess he was a bit scared after the first game. But now he will try to delay that CC of Milo, and he is able to take down the SCV. The forces of Milo return to defend the natural base, and they will be able to do that eventually, but there is a bit of a delay on that command center, which is definitely nice for Q-Waffles. So hello to Pikachu in the chat, also known as Levitos. And now we have the biggest differences coming up. Q-Waffles is actually going for... I believe this is the Raven upgrade, right? Am I wrong? Am I right? Look, I'm not a Terran player, but I believe this is the defense matrix upgrade for the Ravens. And there are no Ravens on the way for Milo. I don't think he's planning on making any anytime soon. He's adding some tanks to the mix, he's adding some Vikings, but no Ravens on the way, not even Tech Lab on that starboard. So Milo is going for more straightforward composition, just Marines, Medivacs, tanks, you know, just things that shoot. Meanwhile, Kuro was adding a bit more sophistication to the army, adding that Raven with the upgrade. So he should be able to disable some of the tanks of Milo. It is just a single Raven, so, you know, not a lot, but still. Meanwhile, we have this drop from Milo. The Raven is helping with the defense. But nonetheless, 2 SCVs fall down and the Medivac escapes as well. I got scared. I could not see the Raven. I thought that the Raven went down, but no, it's right here. I didn't see the moment that it escaped. But the drop comes back once again. It is the single cycle. I believe there was a Marine in there as well, but it did go down. And it will be eventually hunted down. Both of our players just started Steam, so it still will be a while before any serious attacks, I believe. But never mind that, Milo actually decides that this is the time to move out. Q-Waffles will be defending. And it's kind of revealing the intentions of Milo as he decides to actually circle around, maybe find a better position. Q-Waffles knows that something is coming though. And yeah, using these Vikings for vision, but actually none of the buildings are in the range of the tanks. Ooh, the popping out tank is though. It does take some damage. Milo does have the Viking advantage over Q-Waffles. The Raven is in danger, so it cannot be in the front, which means it cannot deny any of these tanks. Ooh, this Medivac goes a bit too far and it looks like it will be taken down. Steampack is about to finish for both of our players, but they engage regardless. And yeah, Q-Waffles just marches into the tank range and all of his units are going down. Even some SCVs are being pulled and GG's called. Milo will be taking game number 2 and the series. I feel like maybe Q-Waffles was a little bit impatient in the defense and yeah, he just marched straight into the army of Milo. Very unfortunate engagement and yeah, it looks like Milo will be advancing to the finals. So with that, we have our first player in the finals. As I quickly have to set things up. And yeah, very nicely done from Milo. Once again, his Terran games are, as in like TVT games, are much more aggressive than the TVZs. TVZs were much more straightforward. So I'm trying to type in the name of our players for the other semi-finals. You will find out why. Okay, I think I got it. Maybe. Potentially. But yeah, with that, Milo will be taking this series 2-0, and he is now waiting in the grand finals of this tournament. And as a reminder, both of the finalists will receive prize money. So, you know, Milo is already in the monetary part of this tournament. Oh, as I will have to... oh no. Oh no. Oh. How do I... Can I... Well then. You know what? I refuse. Okay, so what I'm so shocked by is that we have the two of our players. We have the two of our players for the second semi-final, and it will be Soothsayer versus Kamikaze. Now the thing is that Kamikaze's name in game is TGGGGGGGGGGGGGGGG. Probably the wrong number of G's, but a lot of G's. And that would take me a lot to set up an alias. I'm not counting the G's. Okay, no, let's count the G's. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 G's. Okay, let's set up 8 G's. There you go. Oh yeah, very original in-game name there. Go. As we are just setting up our lobby. We have to make sure that the servers are correct, as we have two players from very different regions. We have Soothsayer from France, and Kamikaze is from Taiwan. So, you know, quite far apart. We have to make sure that the servers are as fair as possible. But soon we will have the series set up. Also, chat. Okay, question to the chat. Why do Protoss players like pink? I know that it sounds great. Pink Protoss players, purple Protoss players, but why are those two colors the most favorite colors of the Protoss players? I'm very curious if it's just the alliteration, is that the word? so sorry. I didn't notice that the players were asking me to be ready. Like, it's so unusual for the caster to be asked if they're ready. It happens during like the big tournaments, but that's more because the broadcast of like the major tournament is more structured. Like, you know, you have to have breaks at some times. Like, the segments are more scheduled. But in a weekly tournament, like in a regular community tournament, usually casters just keep going. And we are now in the second of ours. Oh my god. I didn't realize. We are now in the second of our semifinals. And we are on side Delta with our players. With definitely not confusing colors because Zerg is already purple. And now we have a purple opponent for them. Anyway, in the bottom right corner of side Delta we have our blue Zerg player representing GDA team and coming from France. It is Soothsayer. As I definitely didn't forget to switch the scene. It's fine. Hold on, let me play the intro again. There you go. And across the map we have our purple Protoss player representing himself, I believe, and coming from Taiwan, it is Kamikaze. Also known as TGGGGGGGGG. And Soothsayer also goes for Hatch first versus the Protoss. So we have some Hatch gas pool coming on. Meanwhile, Kamikaze just, you know, going for expand before core. I mean, he saw the Hatch first. He saw that nothing cheesy is coming his way, so he has the time to just expand. Optimus saying he likes yellow or green. I mean, those are solid colors. It's just so fascinating to me that so many Protoss players pick purple and pink. Pink, I think pink is the most common color for Protoss players in tournaments. And I wonder if they're just playing with the casters to make them say pink Protoss player. Like, I don't know if you know, but like we've had some situations in tournaments where like the players were like fighting for the pink color when it was the PvP. It was whoever got the pink first. But like they actually really like that color for some reason. And we have a Stargate coming up from Kamikaze. So I guess we will see some Oracle harassment maybe on the other side of the map. The probe has to finally move back home as the Zerglings already chased it away. Oh, actually we go for Void Ray first. That's very interesting opening. I mean, Void Ray is definitely really nice for cleaning these pesky overlords that are just chilling at the gates of the Protoss, but I feel like Void Rays are not nearly as common as they used to be. Yes, we'll watch this Void Ray destroy the overlord. Oh, we're going straight for a fleet beacon. Now things get interesting. Now, what is the fleet beacon for? We only have one Stargate. The Overlord is just scouting it as well. I mean, obviously, like he saw the Soothsayer has seen the Void Ray, so he knows that the Stargate is there. But I don't think he quite. Yeah, he doesn't see the fleet beacon. He only knows there is a Stargate. The second Stargate is all the way in the natural, so it's completely out of view. We are going for Skytos. But are we going for carriers? Or are we going for something else? I have heard of some quick carrier builds, but now we're actually going for Tempest. Now things are getting very interesting. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Soothsayer going for Roaches with Lair on the way, so you know, quite regular versus Protoss. But these Roaches will not be very helpful against the air units. The thing is, it's kind of like that saying, like, it's a very funny phrase that all the Zergs know, that Roaches are the counter to Mutalisks, because, you know, if the air units cannot kill you fast enough, then the Roaches win, because they just do so much damage on the ground. And I don't know, this may be the case with Tempest as well. This third base is under attack as well, the Zerglings are just dishing a lot of damage on it, and the Tempest is being revealed. So Soothsayer now knows that the Airtos is there. He's working on Hydra then as well as Aspire at the same time. We have both anti-air technologies taken at the same time. And the Kamikaze is just... he's still making more Tempest, but he's getting his Twilight Council, so he will be working on a ground army as well. Also, there's a nice creep highway in the middle. Yeah, it looks like Soothsayer is focusing on his anti-air defense. Spire is on the way, Hydra then has just finished. We're getting Hydras, we have upgrades for the Hydras as well. About to finish. 4 Tempests so far. 5 Tempests, my bad. And the entire fleet is going to just straight up towards the Zerg. What is there to defend? I mean, we have a few Hydras, but that's pretty much it for now. And with the range of the Tempest, they can do a lot of damage. They will catch this Queen, just walking about. But the Hydras are here and the Tempests are quite squishy. One of the Tempests is getting pretty low. It has to hide on the high ground. The Raptors are now on the way. The thing is, like, despite how scary the Tempests are, that they have not done a lot of damage. They took down a Queen, some Hydras, and one of the Tempests is already almost dead. So, you know, despite how scary it looks, I don't think it's actually all that bad. But at the same time, we have Blink on the way. We have the +1 being researched, so the ground army is being prepared. The Tempests were just there for a bit of harassment across the map. But yeah, that's a very interesting composition. But yeah, that's just the army. We have Stalkers with Link, we have the Tempest, we have the single Void Ray that's been left over. Meanwhile, on this side of the Zerg, we have Zergling Hydra. There's no other unit. There's one Corruptor. I don't think that will do a lot of... I don't think it will change a lot with all of these Stalkers. I don't think it can even approach the Tempest, but never mind that. Actually, the Stalkers blink back and they leave the Tempest uncovered. 2 of them already going down. But at the same time, this is quite a choke here, and a lot of the Hydras are falling to the Stalkers. The blink is decent. The Zerg army is melting, and still the choke is being held. More Hydras are streaming in, but they're not in a great position, and Protoss is overpowering the Zerg army. Only a few Hydras left. GG is called, and Kamikaze will be taking game number 1. So GG. Very interesting composition coming from Kamikaze. Not something I see every day, definitely. Starting with straight up with Tempest in a PvZ. Very interesting. And I'm not sure what I think about the reaction of Soothsayer, where he went for both Hydras and Spire. Like, I feel like that might have been a bit of an overkill, and maybe taking in both directions wasn't ideal for him. I mean, in the end, he only made like one Corruptor, so the Spire didn't really do much for him. But at the same time, I don't know if it's like big enough of a difference that it would matter if he didn't. But now, Kamikaze is one game closer to those grand finals. And we are about to load into game number 2. And game number 2 will be happening on Golden Aura, or Golden Aura. Yes. Anyway, we are now in the bottom right corner of the map, and we are looking at our Blue Zerg player from France, representing GDA team. It is Soothsayer. And across the map we have our pink Protoss player, representing himself and coming from Taiwan. It is Kamikaze. Also known as TG Kamikaze. I do wonder what the TG stands for, if it's part of the name or if it's like a clan. So no, it's quite an unusual addition to the name. Once again, we have a Hatch first from Soothsayer, so I guess we will go for Hatch Gas Pool once again. Meanwhile, Kamikaze sending that scout right after the first gate. Yeah, looks like the beginning is very similar to what we saw in game number 1, but I mean, I don't think Kamikaze will go for the same thing again, right? Like, he's not gonna go Tempest again. Or is he? So far, just Trigo are getting the speed, and actually our Protoss this time decides to go straight for a Robo. So definitely having some variety in strategies. I mean, the Tempest Rush is probably like a strategy you use once once in a while. Probably don't want it too often. Although it definitely caused quite a bit of chaos in game number 1. That one Overlord definitely hurtful for Soothsayer, as he is now supply blocked. In the meantime, taking a third base. He pulled out of gas, so we will not have paintings or anything like that coming soon. And we're going for a War Priest. We already... Kamikaze already got an Observer. And now going for a War Priest. And a Twilight Council. And I do wonder what the War Priest is for. Like, what kind of strategy is he going for? We do see 2 Adepts, so... Is that a glaive attack maybe? It's definitely possible. But it will be a while before he gets to glaives, so... Guess we'll have to just wait and see. At the same time, the Zerglings are... Ooh, they're just gonna scout the War Priest. That's very... Very unfortunate timing for Kamikaze and very fortunate timing for Soothsayer. He was just barely able to see that War Priest coming. He's working on his Wardrowen. Yes, very good at speaking. He's working on roaches. I'm shaking my head at my own language skills in disappointment. Lair is on the way. The War Priest now cannot really enter the bases of Soothsayer. It's constantly being watched. The Zerglings are following it, and there are only two adepts inside. It doesn't look like Kamikaze wants to warp in anything more. Meanwhile, one of the bases is being watched. Actually, both of the bases are being watched by Soothsayer, so the Zerg will be alerted if the Protoss decides to expand. Hey, it looks like this War Priest is really just used as a transport. Just making sure that these 2 adepts are safe. In the meantime, back at home we have some Zealots with sentries. An Immortal has been... Actually, 2 Immortals have now been produced. And that entire army is now moving across the map. Charge did finish, so these Zealots are definitely quite deadly. The Overlord does alert the Zerg about the army coming, but this is quite a strong force. And what do we have? We have mostly Zerglings, we have a few roaches, but not a lot of them. The Zealots run into the front lines. They do face a lot of the roaches and they are going straight through the queens. The Immortals are helping out, and just like that, GG is called. Kamikaze will be taking game number 2 and the series. So GG, nicely done there by Kamikaze. This time a much more straightforward attack, but nonetheless very strong. And he was able to take down Soothsayer, take down the Zerg opponent, and will be advancing to the grand finals of this Master Swan number 81. Versi and Esidan, and what that means is that next thing coming up are the finals. Let us quickly look at the bracket. So we had we have Milo defeat Kuro 2-0 on one side, and Kamikaze defeats Soothsayer 2-0 on the other side, and those 2 players will be facing each other in the finals. But before that happens, we will have something special as well. As a reminder, this tournament does have a random participant raffle, so we will be rolling the random participant, and the random participant does go away with a $5 prize, so definitely something nice for taking part. And we will be doing that right after this break. We will be going on a short 5-minute break. After that, we will have our raffle, so stay tuned for that. And right after that, we have the finals. So stay tuned, get some snacks, you know, get something to drink, and we'll be right back. are back in Master Swan Open number 81, our monthly tournament for amateur players, for masters players up to 4.7k MMR. And we are about to start. We are about to start our grand finals, the finals of this tournament. But before that, we have something special. We have our random participant raffle, which means that one of the participants who did play a full series of this tournament, as a reminder, to be eligible you need to play at least one full best of 3 in this tournament. Typically it's a best of 3. And one of these people will walk away with $5 USD. And we are about to find out who it will be. So without further ado, we have 7 eligible participants this month, this edition of the tournament. And I will now randomize. This is now randomized, and the winner of the random participant prize this time, drumroll please, it is Dave Litos. Dave Litos is the winner of our raffle this month in Master Swan Open 81. As a reminder, all 3 of our regular tournaments have this bonus prize, so if you want to try your luck and maybe you can get some of these random participant raffles as well, then just sign up for the tournaments. Like Sparking Tuna Cup is open to all players no matter what rank or region they are from, so you can try your luck there definitely if you're not eligible for the amateur tournament necessarily. But yeah, with that, Dave Litos, make sure to join the Macherino for your prize, and congratulations! And with that, we are now ready for our finals. Let's see. Sarah. There you go. And as a reminder, we are now in the finals of our tournament. We have Milo on one side and TG Kamikaze on the other side. This will be a best of 5 starting on Golden Aura. I'm incredibly sorry for my pronunciations, as English is not my main language, so sometimes I pronounce things my own way. Oh, actually, yeah, we have to make sure the servers are correct, because as a reminder, Kamikaze is from Taiwan and Milo is from Canada. Yeah, players are sorting out the servers. We have to remake the lobby for the correct server to be there. As I see Dave Litos celebrating in the chat his prize, and yeah, we are about to be ready for the finals. It's a lot of emotes in the chat. And since we are waiting now, it's a great time to remind you that if you want to support this tournament, you're not necessarily a player, or maybe you are one of the players and you want to support this tournament in the long run, then make sure to check out our Patreon, because the prize pool is set up entirely from Patreon. As we have said, look, we're having some issues with the lobby. It's okay. Yeah, it happens, just sorting the servers and some things are bugging out, but that's okay. We will be starting soon. But anyway, yeah, make sure to check our Patreon. This tournament, as well as Ducklings Open, as well as Sparkling Tuna Cup, all three of our tournaments are funded via Patreon. So if you want to support them, then make sure to check it out, become a member, maybe even become a paid member if you can afford it. And yeah, you can support us in that way. Otherwise, if you're not interested in Patreon, you can always, of course, subscribe on Twitch or become a member on YouTube. That is also a great help for us. I'm trying to... Lobby chat ready. So much typing. Yes, we are starting our best of 5 series on Golden Aura LE, and we are looking at the top left corner of the map where our orange Protoss player is spawned, and it is representing Taiwan and himself, TG Kamikaze. Meanwhile, across the map we have his opponent, the green Terran player from Canada. It is Milo. And we have actually, because we have been following the series of Milo, we have seen Milo versus Zerg, we have seen Milo versus Terran, and now we're seeing Milo versus Protoss. And I do wonder what kind of style he goes for against Protoss, because we saw he had very different ideas in the matchups. The Terran, the TVT was much more aggressive. The TVZ was very stable, very macro focus. Meanwhile, as we see, the TVP is also pretty spicy. We have 2 racks, although quite far on the map, quite far on the west side, but still we have the 2 racks on the map, and TG Kamikaze is about to scout that there's absolutely nothing in the main. There's only this single depot. He's checking the edges to make sure that this is not a trick, but no, it is not. This is full on proxy. And with that, I mean, what will Kamikaze do? He's still getting Cybercore just as usual. He's still getting the Nexus on the low ground, in the natural base. I mean, he did get the core first, but still, I don't even know if I would take a Nexus, but I'm not a Protoss player, so that's fair. He's checking the bases, and he did see the SCV coming from the bottom, so he knows where the barracks are. And this is actually Marauder proxy. Zealot is on the way. So that will be our line of defense. Ooh, the SCVs are already doing damage on that single probe. Very aggressive play from Milo. We have a shield battery in the natural, but it's not finished yet. A Stalker is about to pop out, but for now we only have this Zealot for defense. The probes are being pulled off the line. Concussive shots are on the way, but they're not even halfway done, so there's still a bit of a window for Kamikaze to fight his army, but the shield battery goes down. The second one is being filled, but it's not gonna be ready anytime soon. We have 3 Marauders. The second shield battery is denied. The probes are being pulled off the line and they are going down. 4 of them already down. There's still more Marauders. Not a single one of them died yet. Now we're getting one. One of the Stalkers is very damaged, but so are all of the Marauders. They're very low on health. It looks like we will be able to deal with the first wave, but there is still more coming. Milo definitely very committed to his attacks. He does not stop making marauders. 8 probes have fallen down. But the economies of our players are quite even at the moment. Ooh, but actually Milo pulls his SCVs to the front. He's focusing everything on this attack. This single stalker will not be able to hold everything. The probes are gonna help, but all these marauders in the back, I don't think he can do all that much. The shield battery overcharge is activated and the probes will definitely be stronger thanks to that, but that's still a lot of marauders. They're being fended off for now, but the SCVs are actually taking down buildings in the base of Kamikaze. There's barely an economy left. The Stalker is trying to deal with the SCVs, but the Marauders are killing off all the probes. Yeah, this is looking pretty disastrous for Kamikaze. He's working on an Oracle. I mean, Oracle definitely will help, but I don't think it can be there fast enough. 15 workers going down, the last Stalker is down, and the pylon is under fire. The Oracle will not come out. GG is called. Milo will be taking game number 1. So again, very aggressive play there from Milo. And yeah, he was relenting. He kept going. Once he saw that there is a possibility that this will gain momentum, he never stopped. He kept making marauders, he kept rallying in, and he was able to overpower the Protoss. But we are now ready for game number 2. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, so no. Still, 1 point advantage is nice, but it's not the end of the series yet. And we have now loaded into Oceanborn, where we have a blue Protoss player this time. Representing Taiwan and himself, it is TG Kamikaze. And across the map we have his opponent, the green Terran player from Canada, it is Milo. And now I wonder, is he gonna continue all this aggression? Or are we going for Macri? I mean, the same thing happened in the TVT series versus Q-Waffles, right? Where the first game was very aggressive, we had that proxy, and then in the second game it was much more calm. Like, it was still very, very committed, like, you know. The Milo did build up a push and just went forward. But obviously it was not as committed as a proxy. We have a scouting probe from Kamikaze. He sees that the barracks this time are where they're supposed to be, but he has to make sure that there's nothing fishy going on in this base. Still making the core, completing the wall on the ramp. The Reaper fleet. Interestingly enough, actually, Milo does not go for Reaper first. He decides to go for a Marine, which is definitely an interesting choice. He's trying to hunt down this probe, but it is pretty well hidden and it will be able to scout again. Ooh, goes right into the base as well. Not denied scout. Sees the factory going down. And 2 Reapers are on the way, actually. Interesting that we see a Marine first into 2 Reapers. At the same time, across the map, we have a Stargate on the way. This probe trying its best to find out what is coming out of this building. We have a Hellion for now. That Marine is still running across the map, scouting the entire area. And now we have an Oracle on the way, but we also don't have we have 2 Stalkers. Okay, 2 Stalkers should be able to defend this, right? Right? I mean, a lot depends on the micro, because we know there are some really nice skipping techniques with the Reapers and their grenades. But Milo decides to be careful for now. The Oracle will fly by right past the army of the Terran though, so it will be definitely spotted. And the rest of the Marines are trying to meet it, but it looks like they will miss it. So there is absolutely no defense in the main base. The SCVs are running away. The Medivac is there to heal, but I don't think he's gonna have. I feel like that was a bit of a panic F2 move. The entire army has come back to deal with this one Oracle. Nonetheless, that means that the attack of Milo did go back home. And it did buy some more time for Kamikaze, as he's working on Blink right now. Oracle should be able to spot the drop. Yeah, even tags it, so Kamikaze is aware of what is coming. Ooh, he will try to snipe it with the Stalkers, actually. Blink is not finished yet. It will actually use the recall to defend. I mean, he will not be able to snipe the Medivac, so he has to fight the Marines straight on, and they definitely do a lot of damage. One of the Stalker falls down, but there should be enough to defend from this. Another move out, once again spotted by the Oracle. This time there is a Cyclone in the mix. But the Oracle escapes nonetheless. The Stalkers are moving out and they will just face the army straight on in the middle of the map. Or maybe not. It looks like Milo decides to move back, to take more defensive position. The Blink is about to be ready, but it's still a few seconds off. Kamikaze has to be really careful about his Stalkers. Doesn't want to lose all of them. That's basically his entire army at the moment. Steam is ready now as well. We also have some nice spotter pylons on the edges of the map. Ooh, one of the Stalkers gets caught by the army. Strays a bit too far, and now the Terran is chasing. The Blink is ready, which will save the Stalkers, but they did take some damage. The Observer was almost able to sneak with his army, but it was spotted and denied. looks like both of the armies are posturing in the middle of the map, while at the same time working on their technology back at home, working on their upgrades. We have some Zealot warpins from Kamikaze. See, just put down the Templar archives as well, so he will be progressing the tech. Oh, the Terran army actually sneaks by these Stalkers and they're not quite in position, but the Zealots are there to defend, and both of the Widow Mines are denied. The Oracle does go down, but so does most of the Terran army. Only one Medivac full of Marines survives. The Medivacs are now hiding in the dead space. As we actually have a Zealot run by right into the base of Milo. They are being recalled as they have been spotted, but 5 of the SCVs are going down. Also, yes, time to set some. I would say that was very weird to see all of these Zealots in order. Also, 2 of the probes decided to be heroic. Went straight for the enemy lines. Ooh, the Medivacs are being spotted by the Phoenix. Quick unload does save them, but the Stalkers are here to finish the job. At the same time though, there is another army coming towards the Protoss. Once again, it's mostly Marines with some Widow Mines. The Zealots actually meet them in the middle. The Archons are here as well. Charge is finished, so these Marines are being annihilated by the Zealot army. The Stalkers are now able to catch up, and it's time for a counterattack. There are some Widow Mines set up here, but we have quite a good army from the Protoss. The Marines are trying to help, but the charges are just going in. Looks like this time the Protoss has the overwhelming army, and Kamikaze will be tying up the series 1-1. GG, nicely done there from Kamikaze. This time we had much more economic, yeah, I guess much more macro game where both players were trying their best to harass each other, and Kamikaze was able to build up a stronger army, and he just eventually got enough advantage to go across the map and deal with the Terran. Milo, once again, Milo's still very heavy on Marines. Definitely seems to be part of his style. From the very beginning today we saw that he definitely likes a lot of men with gun. We are now getting ready for game number 3. So I see we have some Twitch GMs in the chat. It's okay. It's okay. Look, this is an amateur tournament, and it's being played by amateur players, which is perfectly fine. But we are now in game number 3 of our grand finals. We are on Crimson Court, and we are looking in the top right corner. We are looking at our, this time, yellow Protoss player. We have been changing colors every game, it looks like. It is from Taiwan, representing himself, TG Kamikaze. Meanwhile, across the map we have our green Terran player liking his Marines a lot, apparently. It is, from Canada, Milo. And while we are here, also a quick shout out to ARJ Skater as he has subscribed for 30 months. That is a lot of months. That is more than 2 years. Ah, the passage of time. Ah. But yeah, thank you very much, ARJ Skater. ARJ has been here for a while, as you can see, and has participated in some of our stuff, has submitted a lot of replays for us to cast, so you know, always fun to see him around and see what he is up to. Why we have this probe harassing across the map. Once again, we're not going for any proxies, not going for any cheeses, so a more standard game. The SimCity is very different from our Protoss player because there are multiple cliffs for Reapers. He decides not to focus on any of them and just builds around his main base instead. This probe is actually doing a lot of damage on the SCV. There's not a second SCV to back it up at the moment. I think there was one right before that, but it did move away, and it looks like this command center will actually get quite a delay. The probe is still guarding it, and yeah, I actually could have attacked even that SCV as well, but now the Marines are out, and the natural base should be safe. Also a quick shout out as well to Fasor213 or 213 for 11 months. 11 months, you're subscribing almost a full year. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting us. And we have a hybrid starting. Meanwhile, our Protoss this time decides to go for a Twilight Council. So we're starting with that. I guess, yeah, I was gonna say we're going for Blink this time quite fast. It took quite a bit last game to get Blink because we were focusing on other things, but this time the Blink is a priority. Meanwhile, on the side of the Terran we have 3 racks already, no starport. Am I correct? Yeah, there is no starport, there will be no medivacs this time, we're purely focusing on the bio. Very interesting there. I mean, 3 racks is not definitely a style that appears in TVP. Kamikaze sees a lot of Marines across the map, but I don't know if that's enough to tell him what is coming. He is setting up a decent city here. He has double pylons to make sure nothing gets unpowered, but he has no shield batteries in the natural base, so if it comes to defense in this base, it may get quite rough. You know, it looks like our Terran has finally built the starport, so we just delayed the medivacs a little bit, but they should be coming soon. We're still focusing on a lot of Marines. Steam is almost ready, and so is Blink for the Protoss. We have Stalkers patrolling at every entrance, making sure that there is no surprise attack. The Observer will now help spot for the army. And Kamikaze is raiding more and more Stalkers. Blink is done already, and so is Steam. We have a Warpiece for support as well. Ooh, the Observer does go down, which is a little bit painful, but I mean, that happens quite a lot. Milo is rushing back home. He knows that it's a big possibility that Kamikaze will try to blink into the main base, but he actually decides to just go through the front, go straight for the natural. SCVs are alone, but now the Marines are pouring in. They sure have a lot of damage, but not enough damage against all of the Stalkers. It looks like they are outnumbered. The Marines are going down, the SCVs are pulled off the line. The Warpins is still there for reinforcements. We still have a few Marines, but this is mostly SCVs. And it looks like that's enough firepower. Kamikaze will be taking game number 3. GG. Very, very nicely done there. I mean, both of our players were preparing something aggressive, and it looks like I cannot quite tell if just that was the plan for Kamikaze from the start, or if he saw what was happening across the map. He saw all of these Marines getting ready, and he was like, you know what? No, I just have to go. I just have to focus on the offense. Just kept making stalkers, kept making sure he made sure that the army of the Terran did not sneak past by. And he just went for it. And he had enough power to defeat the Terran. So now Kamikaze is on match point with the 2-1 score. As a reminder, this is a best of 5 grand finals of our monthly tournament. So I can type. I'm very good at typing. Oh boy. And we will now be going to Site Delta for our 4th game of this best of 5 series. And as I quickly fix up the score, spawning in the bottom right corner of Site Delta Ali, we have our yellow Protoss player from Taiwan. It is TG Kamikaze. And on the other side of the map, we have our green Terran from Canada. It is Milo. No proxying this time. I mean, Site Delta is a decently big map. But once again, we only had the proxy in the first game, and after that it seems more like our players just they're very committed to their offense, to their one attack, one push, and they just continue the momentum that they're able to get. For now, once again, we will have this probe going across the map, harassing the CVs, seeing if maybe we can delay some buildings coming up. Meanwhile, across the map we have our Cybercore, we have the Nexus going down in the natural. Just the usual. Milo also builds his base in the natural. So feeling safe to just macro up and just go for his regular stuff. This time we do have a Reaper first. So a bit more standard opening, where you do get the scout with the Reaper. The cliff is blocked off. I believe it's complete. Yeah, it should be blocked off completely. And we have a Stargate right at the ramp, actually. Right as Milo comes in, so he's able to see it very clearly. The Adept will chase off the Reaper, but the scouting has already been done. Across the map, we're still working on our buildings, we're working on that reactor, we just made the factory, and it will be used for a cyclone. So also a bunker on the front, so Milo making sure he's safe from any surprise attacks. In the meantime, we have an Oracle on the way and an Adept going across the map as well. So it looks like Kamikaze wants to try to pull attention of Milo a little bit and see if maybe he can get some damage done that way. Oh, that Adept just goes straight in. Not sure if that was fully intentional, but Kamikaze went for that regardless, and he will be able to get a mule for it, which is definitely nice. Even a SCV too. I mean, it's not ideal, you probably want to get a bit more with your Adept, but it's definitely a nice little bit of damage. There's a Cyclone and a Widow Mine, although not borrowed, in the main base though, so I don't think this Oracle will be able to get anything done. What it did do is it scouted these 2 barracks going down though, so that is a nice bit of information for Kamikaze. Because once again, we will be having 3 racks. Although this time it is after Starport as well. So not quite as committed as previous game, but still we will be having a lot of Marines. As it is very usual with Milo, as we have learned. But before that happens, we have a small drop coming up. It is a Cyclone, a Widow Mine, and 2 Marines. And it's going now towards the Protoss. It will pass through the 3rd base, so it will be completely spotted. Milo is trying to deny this 3rd, but I don't think he can actually. The army of the Protoss is not big, but it should be enough to fend off the Terran. Still, 3 probes do fall down, so that is some damage for the Terran. And once again, we have this Marine army getting ready. But Kamikaze does not want to let Milo get there. He marches his Stalkers to the front. The Blink is on the way, it's not ready yet, but it will be soon. Class 1 only just started. But the upgrades of the Terran are not there either. The Steam is farther away than Blink is. So, I mean, we'll see what Kamikaze can get done here. There is a Cyclone, which is definitely making this a bit more harder. But the Cyclone does get focused. One of the Stalkers does go down for it, and the other is badly damaged. It looks like Kamikaze mostly wants to keep his presence on the map, and he will have to fight for it because Milo is now moving out. Another one of the Stalkers falls down. And the army keeps marching forward. Another Stalker is being shaved off, and that's starting to be a lot of damage. The Marines are bruised though, as they are using the Steam and the Medivacs are not quite able to keep up with them. But now the Zealots are here. Charge is not ready though, so they are slow Zealots running towards the Marines. Most of them are being focused, and this fight looks very different than the one in the previous game. That stasis definitely helps a lot. Half of the army has been trapped. And now this is much more manageable for the Protoss. The Stalkers are dealing with the Marines, and the ones in the stasis are not a problem yet. But with the reinforcements coming from the Terran, it's actually not enough. The stasis is about to run out, and the Stalkers are falling down. The charge is only just completed, but we only have a few Zealots left. Medivacs are being sniped. And actually the Protoss is marching forward. We didn't save enough Marines from this attack. And even though this army of the Protoss is not big, it's able to do damage. The SCVs are forced off the line, but they will be able to save the situation. we have another warping of Zealots coming in. This time it is whip charge, so they're able to mow down through all of these units this much faster. And now the SCVs are going down. There are still marine reinforcements, but they are far away. The SCVs on the front are being hurt. Medivacs are hitting them, but that doesn't have that 13 of them to go down. Another warping of Zealot is on the way. And while all of this is happening, Kamikaze is just expanding. He just took his 5th base. Like, obviously he's not saturated yet, but he's just taking all the bases he can. I mean, if the fights are not happening on his side of the map, he might as well take it. Milo has prepared for another attack though. He will be going for a Doom Drop. He did check out the front of this 3rd base. He did see the army prepared with the Archons and everything. But now it's time to move out. It looks like Kamikaze will maybe barely spot this. I think he just barely misses the drop, and the entire Doom Drop will be going straight for his bases, but he knows that something is coming out. He did see with this observer that the entire army has moved out. He will get the CC at the very least. But I don't know if this warping is enough. Oh, it will snipe one of the medivacs, which is definitely nice. And there are quite a few stalkers here. 2 medivacs are going down already, but the army has unloaded. There will be damage done, but I don't know if it's enough damage. The stalkers are still standing strong, and they are dealing with the army at the same time across the map. Once again, CVs have to be full off the line. There are Archon hits, there are charge lots. And that's enough. Kamikaze will be taking game number 4 and the series. GG, congratulations to Kamikaze. He will be taking down Milo 3-1, and he will be the champion of Master Swan Open number 81. Very nice, very decisive, aggressive play. But also, you know, also not ignoring the defense, as we saw, like the crucial moment where the Doom Drop left the base. He did have an observer there in the spot. He made sure to know that it's coming, and even though he was not quite able to intercept the drop coming, he still made enough warpings at home. He had the SimCity for it as well, and he was able to fend off all the attacks. Some of them, you know, were not easy, like the first push in this last game, when all of the Marines were in his base. Like, it looked very dire, but in the end, he did have just enough to make it sure. And with that, again, we have our champion for this month for Master Swan Open. So congratulations. Make sure to join the match arena for your prize. And if you guys want to support this tournament and make sure it grows for the future editions, then make sure to check out our Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat will bring you the Patreon link, and you can also see on the bottom of the screen we have also our Patreon goal. The currently the support that we have on Patreon is enough to keep our tournaments running as they are. But if we get more support, we will be able to increase the prize pools. Our first goal is to increase the prize pool of Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is our open weekly tournament, which is open to everyone, including the pros. We have quite a few professional players taking part there, so it would be nice to sweeten the pot on this a little bit. And yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. You are watching the CranKy Ducklings. We are casting on a daily basis. Usually it's light VIP casting, but for these amateur tournaments, it is right now me, Kuro, or 16 Squad Sanseki taking part as well and commentating on these amateur tournaments. Also, shoutouts to the players. We see the players are in the chat. I hope you guys had fun, and yeah, congratulations. Those are some really nice games. If you want to see more of the CranKy Ducklings, then make sure to follow us on all of the socials. We have a Twitter/X, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Mastodon, we have Blue Sky. We have a Discord in case you want to join us on Discord. Discord is probably the best way to keep up with us, as we post everything that we are currently working on, or like all our live streams, all our VODs are posted on Discord, so make sure to check it out if you are interested. Other than that, also check out our YouTube channel for the VODs. We also have the VODs of the tournaments right as they happen. Just like on Twitch, you have the past broadcast. On YouTube, you have the live tab where you can see the streams as they happen and right after they happen as well. So, yeah, with that, I am Kuro, also known as 16 Squad Sanseki. You can follow me at twitch.tv/16 Squad Sanseki, although I don't stream all that often right now. Thank you for the raid, Kamikaze, as well. And right now, it is 1 PM in the land of the Europe, of course. And with that, let me quickly double check, but I believe... Yeah, World Team League is coming up in just half an hour, a bit less than a half an hour now, and that will be brought to you by Light VIP. So if you want more StarCraft, if you want some puppy casting, as it's called, the energy of the Light VIP, then make sure to stay tuned. This channel will be going down shortly. We'll be going offline for like a minute or two, and right after that we will have Light VIP casting World Team League. So make sure to check this out. World Team League is always a lot of fun. World Team League definitely sees some underdog wins because it's a Team League, so you know there's more preparation for the games. So sometimes we have some, you know, dark horses who normally are not going very far in the tournaments, but like in the Team League format they can really shine. So definitely tune in, check it out. And with that will be all for today, or from me. And yeah, tune in for the light casting of World Team League, and I will see you soon. Also, if you're interested in participating in more amateur tournaments, then once again, Discord has the sign-ups links. We are posting the sign-ups quite regularly, so make sure to check that out. Bye!